Good morning. Actually pretty nice and warm day. It's about +5, +6, but holy moly, the wind is just a giving her. So just loaded up a lick tank and some molasses and a bag. That's probably all that we're coming today. It is Sunday. I was in the house there this morning building Buddy's new rocket. So we launched that yellow one that we had painted, and I'm pretty sure it exploded. Because I think how these work, the first stage of the little motor in it goes up, and then the next stage pops the top off, and out comes the parachute, and it parachutes down. But I think we put way too big of a rocket in for the tiny little thing, and when the second stage went off, I think it just blew the rocket up. So we built this green one. Well, they don't come colored, but we painted this green one. And now I'm going to paint this white one. Of course, Buddy still has his black one. So we're down one yellow one, but we ordered 2 more because once you set all that stuff up, it's nice to shoot a few instead of just doing one, being miserable and going to the house. So I'm going to paint that white one up. I think we're going to paint it red. I don't know. But that'll be a good job for Sunday. But rocket building aside, so Stan and I are planning another, I'm pointing these for a reason, pressure switches. So Stan and I are planning another live stream. We're going to do it this Friday, the 11th. And it's going to be on predictable surprises on the farm, things to watch out for, things you might not be thinking about, how to save money kind of a deal, how to make money. So yesterday, or the day before, we had water. And then we had water in the house, and then the kids were going to go to their grandparents for a sleepover. So just before Buddy went to leave, he went in to wash his hands, and there was no water. So sometime over the morning, the water well had failed. Now I bring this up because if you're homesteading, if you're farming, if you're living on an acreage or remote at all, not in town, you most likely have your own water well or your own cistern because you are not on town water. Now, these are predictable surprises. You have to know how to maintain that infrastructure if you're going to live remote, and how to fix it if need be. So there are people, right? There are plumbing companies that will drive out and fix it for you. However, nothing is getting any cheaper, and in fact, it's actually getting more expensive with the crazy inflation that we're seeing. It's getting exponentially more expensive. So parts that were, $600 2 months ago are now $750. So nothing's going up a 1%, 2%, 3%. Stuff's going up 25%. Totally nuts. So yeah, you're gonna want to know. I mean, we're going to cover quite a bit of stuff. So for me, yeah, that pressure switch failed the other day. Now they're very simple. And unfortunately, if you're already where you have an existing situation and you're not building from new, you can take a picture, you can Google it, you can get a pretty good idea of what it's supposed to look like. These pressure switches, and we actually bought a different style this time. This one has a low cutout. I'm not sure if that's going to work good for us or not. But I think the way it works is if you blow a line somewhere and the pump pressure drops right off, instead of just pumping forever, it will just shut the pump off, which actually would be kind of a good thing for all the livestock waters and stuff that we have. So, but I'm just going to open one up here for those who don't know what a pressure switch. They're very simple. So there's a 1/4 inch orifice at the bottom. You screw that on in place of where the old one was. There's 4 receptacles, or whatever you want to call them, up top. I'm sure most of that water pump wire is the same. Ours had 2 black ones on this side, 2 red ones on the other side, green one going to here. So you just kind of swap and remove and replace, really, and you can get yourself back up and running. Another thing that is worthwhile noting on a farm or an acreage when you're living rural, stuff like this you're going to kind of want to have on the shelf. So there was one old one here that I couldn't find until Corey bought the new one. So I just put the new one on. So we actually have two here now. However, we have two wells, and I'll just go over and show you that before I go in for lunch. Okay, so this is our little pump house. This was built by the old bachelors that owned the place before my dad and mom bought it. The original well is here, drilled to about 80 feet. Terrible water, hard, full of salt or sodium. Just not the best water. But the old boys lived with it for 30 years and seemed to work for them. So one thing was, it was really hard on appliances. So when we decided we were going to move out here, because nobody lived here, we drilled a new well. So this is the feed for the new well. The new well is behind this building, about 15, 20 feet. So this just runs the water and then the power down to the well. I'm not sure why this is kicking in and out so much. They must be washing dishes or something in the house. But we only put this small pressure tank because nobody lived here at the time. And this building used to be right full of all different sorts of water softener stuff that really didn't work. So when we took all that out and we took the old pressure tank and stuff that was all full of silt and mud and dirt and stuff like that, we thought, well, we'll just throw this little one in here. And then, because it was a few years before we got moved out here, and that way if this ever froze and burst or whatever, it was no big deal to change. But we did hook up both wells. So this is the pressure switch that I just replaced yesterday for the new well. That is the pressure switch for the old well. There's breakers right here. As you can see, the new well is on, the old well is off. This goes to the house. This goes to the waters up by the barns. This line goes out for filling our sprayer. And if we ever run out of water, we can just close that valve, open this valve, shut the new well off, turn the old well on, and we'll be back. At least we'll have water. So that's kind of the way we set this up. Long story short, a water well will be a predictable surprise when you are living on your farm or your acreage, because it will be your responsibility to fix it. But I gotta go see why this is kicking in and out, in and out, in and out. If they're not doing anything in the house, we might actually have a broken line up by the waters. So we will see. So they were up checking the pigs, and I guess the pigs are getting kind of low on grain. So I'm gonna make this big bag and head up there, fill their self-feeder up. I go with a little bit of oats, a little bit of wheat, a little bit of barley. I don't measure it out for my own, but I try to get it maybe around a third. A couple pails of molasses just to keep the dust down. This time I didn't put, I only put a pail and a half, and you can see it's a little bit dusty, so a little bit more might have been better, but it's also ground up pretty fine. So we'll see how it goes. She put the feeder for the pigs in too far, so we couldn't get at it with the just with the loader. So I'm hoping with this telehandler I can reach all the way in and dump it right into the self feeder. All right, well, me and Buddy got the bag mixed up here, and it's on the fork. So we're gonna go up and we're gonna put it into the self feeder for the pigs. And like I said, hopefully I can reach out with the boom so I don't have to take a panel down. Good job, bud. What are we doing, buddy?
Going down to put some hay in the self-feeder for the pigs.
You're right, buddy. How old are you? You're 3, and you're already driving a telehandler. You're crazy. Do you like helping feed the animals? Yeah. Here's Teddy. And Amy's got the gate for us. Buddy, you're right. We don't want to hit no power lines. There's all our piggies. They're waiting. Which way do you think we're going to go? From the south or from the east or from the west? From the west? That's probably the best way if we can get over there. Papa plowed some pretty big snowbanks here, though. Where are we going to go here, buddy? Good thing this thing's four-wheel drive, huh?
Yeah.
Look at these piggies at that canola bale I brought them yesterday. Crazy.
Don't want to crash into the trees.
No, we don't want to crash into the trees.
How are we going to do this?
How are we going to do this?
Yeah.
Well, Dad's going to have to put the phone down and we're going to have to get angled the proper way. All right. Whew. Okay, well that just worked fantastic. I'm super glad we got this telehandler. Anyways, the GTs are out. Buddy's got his over by the big hill, so I'm gonna go find some boots. We're gonna get the kids some snow pants. It is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. That's enough work for the day. All the animals are tended to. The people that wanted to pick up their molasses and their feed and stuff, they've already got that and they've come and gone today. So the rest of the afternoon here is going to be all about GTing. We'll probably pull our water tank over, fill it up, and try to flood our rink. It's going to be tricky now because it's supposed to be basically above zero, even overnight. But I think if we put a little bit on there and it gets down to -2, -3, and there's not a bunch, just a nice skiff of water, I think it'll probably freeze. So as always, thanks for watching, and we will see you all on the next one.